trollbots are inauthentic accounts that often amplify or spread misinformation and disinformation. For CNET, I'm Dan Patterson with Chris Boozy. He is the founder of botsentinel.com, a site that tries to track and monitor inauthentic social media activity. Chris, what exactly is a trollbot, and what is the scale of this problem? How big is it?
Hi, Dan. Well, a troll bot is a combination of different accounts. Well, you have trolls that are accounts that go online. They could be, inauthentic accounts coming from, some country or here in the United States, and they primarily just cause chaos. They put out disinformation, misinformation. Their ultimate goal is just to create chaos. And then bots are little pieces of code that can run pretty much on any platform. And they're good bots and bad bots, but they repeat information, they automatically tweet or post, and obviously they can tweet and post misinformation and disinformation. They can retweet accounts that are known for spreading this type of crap online. So those are pretty much the type of accounts that we track. And in terms of how big it is, I mean, it's a huge problem. And most social media platforms now are acknowledging how big the problem is. So we're talking tens of thousands of accounts each day that is pushing this type of information.
Chris, tell me a little bit about how your automation software works. How do you identify a trollbot, and how do you verify that it actually is an inauthentic account as opposed to a real human being?
Right. So to be clear, some of these accounts are quote unquote real human beings. These are accounts that are controlled by humans, but we use machine learning and artificial intelligence to be able to identify these accounts. So we train, or we're constantly training models to be able to identify which are the bad guys, which accounts you need to really keep an eye on. So we're using technology in a way to kind of combat what's happening online.
So we hear a lot about the coronavirus and misinformation being spread by these inauthentic trollbot accounts. How are they involved?
Right. So we've been tracking this for several weeks now. And these accounts, they shift with, the narrative that they're pushing, they shift over time. So in the beginning, when this, first really started to get into the public light, these accounts were pushing the narrative that it's a hoax, that this is really not happening, and this is not serious. When it became, everyone started to become aware that, hey, this is serious, then it was more like, okay, yes, the virus exists, but it's more like the flu. Obviously, we figured out it's obviously more serious than the flu. So the narrative changed again, and it went from it's not the flu, but this virus was created as some type of warfare. It's some biological warfare weapon created by China or Hillary Clinton and Obama, or some crazy narrative like that. Once again, over time, that changed to, hey, this is real, and this is the way that you can stop it. If you drink bleach, or if you take this specific type of drug, or if you stand outside in the sun for X amount of hours. So we've seen the gamut when it comes to the disinformation about coronavirus, and over time, the narrative just keeps changing.
Chris, there's a lot of evidence about trollbot activity, but let's stand in the shoes of a skeptic. Convince me. Why do I need to care about this inauthentic activity? And is this a real problem?
Right. So yeah, you definitely should care, because as I stated earlier, if these accounts are pushing out information that you can take a specific drug that your doctor did not prescribe to you, and you're going out on the black market or asking a friend for this, and you're taking it thinking that this drug can cure you or protect you, you're risking your life. Or if you're believing that this is not a real thing, and you're going outside and not heeding the warnings of the professionals, the medical professionals, and you're not doing the social distancing, or maybe wearing a mask, which that's still up in the air, you are putting yourself and others at risk. And that's the problem. They're causing confusion online because there are a lot of people, especially younger people, who get their information from social media. They're not really watching the news. They're going online and following certain people. And if these people are telling them this false information, this disinformation, it can have catastrophic effects.
Uh, Chris, who does this? Who participates in this, and why do they do it?
Oh, that's a hard one. So they're state-sponsored accounts where we've heard about Russia, sponsoring this stuff. Then there's some homegrown stuff as well, where you have some of these accounts that are and could be certain organizations that don't agree with something, and they're trying to get their message out, and they're using these accounts to get their message out. I mean, it's the gambit. It's vast. There are many players now. It's not just one country. Pretty much everyone is participating in this in some, form or shape.